morning. I'm Baron Battlebred, and welcome back to Whispers and Reggae. When we last left the time breakers, I'll get there. I'll get there.
Time breakers.
When we last left the time breakers, they had experienced a night of heavy drinking, comfortable beds, and a summons in the morning, where they met Lizard. Louis Ignatius Zephyr, arcane reader of divination, who, after realizing who, or I should say what they were, that being time travelers, sent them on a quest, because his divinations were not working too well. And he's sending them out to collect a piece of the divine barrier that they saw shatter when they first arrived in Regate that night. When we last left off, somebody was about to get stampeded by a horse. Sarah!
I'd like to see that horse try.
Sarah, roll me a dex save.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Excellent. As Thaddeus and Elise step aside from the sound of the crashing, Sarah, you are right in the middle of it. And as such, as this horse barrels down on you, you step to the side and reach out to grab the reins.
That sounds like something I would do.
Like, clearly, if you just pull on these reins, you'll stop the animal.
Going with the horse.
Thaddeus and Elise, you watch as Sarah gets yanked off of their feet, almost perfectly landing on the horse's back, the reins in hand. Sarah, you are now on a stampeding horse. What would you like to do?
I don't know how to ride a horse, so I am going to pull back on the reins really hard.
Okay. Do you want to roll me a strength check or an animal handling check?
Well, I think I'm going to go with a strength check.
All right, we'll start with the strength check. Go ahead.
That's a 3.
You attempt to pull back on the reins, but you realize you're only holding one half of them. And as you pull on it, the horse starts turning left really fast.
So that's how that works. I'm going to grab with both hands and pull back on the reins.
All right, go ahead and try again.
That's a 6.
So you realize that pulling with your left hand makes the horse go left, and being a methodical creature, you test this hypothesis by pulling on the right one. You pull right, and the horse suddenly turns right. And you are correct. But you are now headed back at the barn, Thaddeus and Elise, and 2 of the barn hands. Roll me an animal handling check to see if you can get the horse to stop before you crash through the doors again.
A 16.
Not bad. You get the hang of it at the last second. You pull back on the reins. The horse essentially skidding to a stop right in front of Thaddeus. Thaddeus, you're like eye to eye with the horse. Its head is down. Its breath is heavy. But the barn hands are applauding. Clap, clap, clap,
I
clap,
learned
clap.
how to ride a horse.
Congratulations.
Well done, one.
Wow, that was nothing I taught you. I was going to explain later.
Which were?
Sarah, the horse that you're currently sitting on is large enough to fit you and Thaddeus, if you so wish, or everyone can get a horse for themselves. What would you guys like to do?
Leave that up to Thaddeus.
I will be getting on the horse with Sarah, behind Sarah, because Sarah apparently knows what she's doing.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
At least she'll have her own horse.
got it. Elise, roll me an animal handling check. See how well you know how to ride a horse.
Not very well. 14.
That's not bad. Not bad. You managed to get up on the horse by yourself, and you are guided out of the stables and to the front gate. And you are, you've shown just enough skill that the barn hands don't feel the need to explain anything to you, and you are sent on your way.
Yay!
Yay! Making your way out of the castle area, you start heading for the west gate, which is the direction that the star was falling. There is a very large hilly
Hold on,
plain.
you're not gonna see if I know how to make my horse go forward.
Not yet. You rolled your animal handling check for now. It's okay. You make your way towards the west, and as you leave the main gate, you see a large hilly plain in front of you that leads to the edge of a very dense-looking forest, and you see a thin smoke trail emanating from the other side of the forest, where you believe the star landed that evening. Who is leading?
Me.
Sarah. Okay. Roll me a survival check.
19.
19. That is pretty good. You've walking your horse through the city on your way to the west gate. You've gotten a pretty good handle on what does what, how to make it go forward, how to make it stop, turn left and right. You've got a good control over your creature for now. You
Yes.
and Elise start galloping across the plains. And in such control of your creatures, you make it to the edge of the forest fairly quickly and are able to skirt around anything that looks potentially dangerous. You don't go near random fallen logs. You stay away from funny-looking muddy patches. You skip off the path when there are too many people in front of you. Pretty simple ride from the castle walls to the forest. It takes about half the day. So the forest is, as you get near, you notice that these trees are very tall. It was highly deceiving how close this forest was based on the sheer size of it. However, you are now at the forest, and you guys are free to stop and take a rest. Let your horses breathe for a moment.
Why would I need to do that?
Because they are living creatures, and they need a moment to rest, Sarah. Roll me an animal handling check.
Yep. That'd be a 16.
Got it. You recognize the signs of fatigue. Thaddeus gets them every now and then.
Ah,
The heavy breathing, the feet are moving just a little bit slower. So you take a moment. You guys stop at the edge of the forest, and you take a short rest for your horses to relax.
Elise takes a drink from her canteen and looks up to the sky, says to the others, "You forget, to appreciate the sky while it's still sunny. 3 years without a single sunrise, and now we've seen one again."
I know it's very bright.
It's a lovely day.
It's a lovely day.
I'm giving my horse some of the booze I collected earlier.
Okay. You give your horse a drink of elderberry wine.
Yes.
Thaddeus, you watch as Sarah opens her chest compartment and pulls out her stomach container and gives a drink of something to the horse.
Sarah, what are you doing?
It looks thirsty.
What do you have in your stomach compartment?
The drink you were drinking the other day, last night.
Don't give that to the horse.
As I'm already giving it to the horse.
That's assuming the horse wants to even drink it.
Horses are not dumb, so I'm gonna roll.
My dog doesn't like alcohol.
Neither does this horse.
Neither does
the
this
horse. The horse is gonna. I rolled a D100 to see if how smart the horse was on its reluctance to alcohol. It is not alcohol horse. It's going to take a sniff of it, and it's going to rear back and shake its head and kind of flare its nostrils at you, Sarah. Like,
how dare you try to feed that to me?
yeah. Like, bleh. It's yucky. Why? Yucky.
Sarah, you have to give the horse water. You can't give the horse alcohol. Here, let me see your stomach container, and then I would like to
Drink it.
drink the stomach container.
Little hair of the dog there, Thaddeus.
Hey, Thaddeus saw something that he can't unsee.
It's true.
Roll me a wisdom save, Thaddeus.
$16.
I mean,
After you
my
finish
stomach
taking the drink,
compartment's not clean, probably. Should
Thaddeus.
just point that out.
gross, Sarah. We didn't need to know that.
I mean, oil and stuff.
Yeah, Thaddeus already knows
Turnable
this.
fuel.
Oh well, Thaddeus is an artificer. He's ingested some oil before. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He, the food grade stuff.
Yeah, it's all food grade. You're like a KitchenAid mixer.
Ah. Thanks.
Thaddeus, as you finish drinking the rest of the wine from Sarah's stomach compartment,
Not all of it, just a little bit.
right? You take a drink, but you hear something. As you finish taking your drink, a voice in your head goes, "What if it wasn't you?" That's all.
Huh. Thaddeus will kind of look up and look around, seeing if he sees anybody speaking.
No.
It's definitely not Elise. She's checking out her shoes because they're getting muddy. She's not a fan.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, Thaddeus is just going to, kind of pay no mind to it, and then put the stomach compartment back in Sarah.
And I will close my hatch.
Okay. The short rest ends. No problem. Everybody gets back on their respective horse. Who wants to lead into the forest?
At least do you
Yeah.
want to?
At least I'll give it a shot. She'll take the lead with my +1
Okay.
survival.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
17. That's not bad at all.
That is not. That's actually pretty good. Depending on what it was, I was going to make you roll again to see if you knew where you were going once you get into the woods. But you're doing great. You roll me an animal handling check, Elise, to see how well you can navigate your horse through this forest.
Oh, that's only a 5.
That's not very good. It feels more like your horse is leading you. As you attempt to navigate through this forest, you try and guide your horse down different paths, and the horse is not having it. Like, I don't know why you want me to go down this dark and spooky path when this bright and shiny path is right in front of us. After about 5 or 6 hours, though, you guys make it through the forest. A couple of branches, caught you in the face. Maybe you're a little whipped, but uninjured, annoyed. You come to the other side of the forest, and you see a large crater line. Effectively, this massive smoking furrow carved through the top of a hill and down the other side. Who wants to go investigate?
I will.
I guess I'm going with you.
All right, are you taking the horse?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the horse.
I'm taking the horse.
So Thaddeus gets off the horse and Sarah keeps riding the horse.
Yes.
All right. Thaddeus, roll me an investigation check on this furrow.
6, but it should also be noted that my passive investigation is 14.
Gotcha. So you take a quick look over this furrow. This is most likely where your falling star landed, and if it is a meteor, it is much, much larger than you expected. In fact, according to your calculations of the size of this furrow, an impact of something of that size should have been felt all the way into Regate. Like, there should have been a shockwave or a tremor or something, and it's surprising that there wasn't.
Magical shenanigans.
This should have had a shockwave that led into Regate, but it's surprising that it didn't.
Yeah. Would you guys like to follow the furrow?
Do you think that means it slowed before impact?
Possibly.
I will try. Can I fit the horse in there?
Yes.
I will. Yep. I'm gonna try to lead the horse in.
You guys watch as Sarah goes to lead her horse into this furrow, and you suddenly get an even clearer picture of the immensity of this particular object. As Sarah disappears into the bottom of the furrow, it's
A copper horse.
on top of her horse. The divot is at least twice as tall as her horse is. And if she stood the horse sideways, it's 2 or 3 times as wide. Nothing left to do but follow it, I guess.
Well, then I will follow Sarah and hop back on the horse, and I guess off we go.
You guys start following this furrow, which, as you do, you realize not only did it slide down this hill, but it slid up the next one. So following the furrow down and then up into the next hill, you reach the top of the hill, and I need you to roll me a perception check.
All or
Yeah, we'll
17.
17 is good.
23.
23 is better.
Nat 20.
24 is even better. Thaddeus, you're following the trajectory. Sarah, you're looking out from on top of your horse. Elise, are you on your horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also on your horse. Elise, you're also on your horse. So from a slightly higher vantage point, you guys see that whatever it was came down, split the valley, and then left the ground again at the top of this hill at high speed. And, like, you see a smoking crater in the side of the mountain, just on the other side of the hills. It's probably another 2-3 hours of the journey, but that is definitely the impact site.
It's almost as if the meteor had a mind of its own. Climbing the hills like this?
This is no falling star that I know of.
And we ride on.
It is turning into evening as you guys make your way over to the hill, over to the base of the mountain. And you can see up at the top, well, not up to the top, about halfway up the mountain, you can see very clearly the smoking hole that is the crater that whatever this falling star has left in the side of the mountain. At the base of this mountain, you come into what would be described as the ruins of an ancient village. You see crumbled stone walls. You see the remains of houses burnt to the ground. You know, there's little crosses marked all over the place.
I would like to roll a history check to see if I recognize any of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
16.
As far as you're aware, there hasn't been a village within this proximity of Regate in 400 or 500 years. So if this village had a name, we don't know it anymore.
This place is not on any of the Regate maps.
Let me take a closer look.
If we do, I suggest we use extreme caution. Cities don't just disappear off maps. Or villages.
I might have reason to disagree with you there.
The irony of that sentence.
Good point.
So you guys are on the outskirts of a fully ruined village. You want to go in and investigate?
Thaddeus will investigate, but will investigate cautiously.
Okay, so do you want to roll me a stealth check first?
No. He's not really stealthy.
Well, we could have Elise go first. It would make more sense for her to take the lead on something like this.
Plus, not to mention, Thaddeus would turn to Elise and say, Elise, perhaps you should investigate this carefully.
And Elise will nod and head on in. Stealthily.
Okay.
I will see her being sneaky, and I will try to be sneaky with my horse.
I see this, and I'd like to I say, Sarah, no, we need to wait here.
All right, Elise, we'll start with you then. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
29.
Dang. You are effectively invisible.
Effectively invisible.
Yep. Thaddeus and Sarah, you watch as Elise gets off her horse, steps away from you. You blink, and Elise has disappeared.
Elise will use telepathy to let them know she's still here. Don't worry, guys. I'm just over here.
Looks around blankly.
Yeah, no, I don't think you could see her even if you tried really, really hard.
No, I can't. Because I have a +4 to my to my perception.
Yep.
So with a nat 20, I am 5 shy.
All right, Elise, you make your way up to the ruined gate of this village. Do you want to go over the wall or through the gate?
Over the wall.
It's not too hard to do. The wall has been crumbling for some time. So you scamper over the wall, and you are now inside of the village. The first thing that you notice is surprisingly well kept. Like, the roads are in very good condition, but all of the buildings around them are in tatters. Like, things are collapsed, things are burned. You see signs of what was probably some form of immense battle. Like, there's blade scars and broken arrows and just stuff everywhere.
Yeah, she'll take a closer look at some of these broken pieces.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
30. Those are the two things that Elise is the best at: hiding and looking.
Excellent.
Well, investigating specifically, not perception.
As you make your way further in, looking at these things, you finally notice your first sign of populace in a body. Well, I should say a skeleton in the middle of the road, a sword jammed through its chest. Upon getting a closer look, you can see a symbol etched on the hilt of the sword, but it's not one that you recognize of any current armies that you're aware of.
Are the other two within 60 feet? And can I see them?
They can be. I mean, we can make them within 60 feet. This body is like, only... You'll have to backtrack a little bit to reach the 60 feet, but you can keep them and that body in sight if you so wish.
Yeah, that's what Elise will do. She'll try and keep both in sight, and then she'll telepathically communicate with the other two. I found evidence of a battle here, but it's not any army I recognize. This is a city laid siege to, or a village laid siege to, that I don't think is of our realm.
Not of the realm of... I'm going to say this out loud. I don't know. I don't think you can hear me. But... not of the realm of... where were we from? Purgatory? Is that where we were?
You were in Limbo.
Limbo. Not from the realm of Limbo?
No response.
Yeah.
Thaddeus replying to Sarah, no, it wouldn't be anything of Limbo.
Hmm.
Can Elise survey the area for any living creatures?
How do you want to do such a thing? What would Elise do to get a better look around the area?
Yeah. Using the walls as cover, she'll go point to point, looking around the corner, then, going to the next spot that has cover, looking behind that corner.
Okay. How far in do you want to go?
Decent distance, maybe like a 50 to 100 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so you can move... You want to move, like, maybe 5 or 6 more houses in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You move deeper into... At least moves deeper into the village. Unsure of if they should remain, stealth the way they... Like, how do I phrase this? Roll me another investigation check.
Like, unsure if there's anything to hide from.
Right. Everything they've come into contact so far is dead and burned.
24.
You still are looking around very well, and the further into the village you get, the more visible the signs of siege are, which is a bit odd, considering it's usually from the outside in that sieges happen. You see evidence of more fires. You find bits and pieces of more skeletal remains, broken weapons, like just the shell of houses that have been completely burnt out. But nothing alive, other than the occasional rat.
All right, Elisa's gonna go back to where she could see the others.
Okay.
It seems the coast is clear. Still maintain caution, but you can approach.
Okay. Thaddeus is gonna start approaching and gesture to Sarah to follow.
I'm going to
Well-
try to get my horse to be sneaky.
Okay, roll a stealth check with disadvantage, Sarah.
I was just thinking it was going to be a animal handling at disadvantage. That'd be a 6.
Okay. Sarah, as you and Thaddeus make your way stealthily through the front gate, the first thing you notice is that your horse's feet go clip clop, on the road.
Huh. I would've
Sounds
seen
like
that
the
coming.
banging of coconuts.
Yep.
So, are you going to try and maintain stealth, or are you going to leave the horse behind?
I'm going to try and maintain
Got
my
it.
horse.
At least you watch as Thaddeus, Sarah, and their horse come walking through the front gate. Clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
Interesting choice there, little one. The horse isn't exactly quiet.
Huh.
We also don't want to put the horse in any danger.
Hmm.
The horse is a friend. Whatever we find here is not a friend. Possibly.
Get off of the horse and lead the horse, so that I'm in the way of any danger versus the horse, probably, if we walk directly into any.
Okay.
Close enough.
I'm going to roll a stealth check for your horse, Sarah.
At least we'll still have one horse.
Damn.
Okay. Anyone else who is going to maintain stealth, please roll me a stealth check now that you have a horse with you.
I never maintained a stealth.
I know.
You want-
Yeah. Okay.
30.
Do you want me to try and maintain one?
Nat 20.
Sarah,
Or
Sarah,
roll a different one, rather?
fucking hell, Elise.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, go ahead and roll me a stealth check now that you are off the horse. Thaddeus, you can choose or not if you want.
Be 16 now that I'm off the horse.
I choose not to be stealthy.
Okay. Thaddeus and Sarah start walking down the main road. Elise, you are off to the side, flitting between the shadows, almost completely invisible to your compatriots. After the first 50 feet or so, you guys come up to the first body that Elise found, Thaddeus and Sarah. And it is indeed a skeleton, stabbed through the chest, pinned to the ground.
I will pull the sword out of his chest and inspect it.
Roll me a strength check.
That's a 19.
you pull the sword out. It brings up one of the cobblestones with it. Like it was pinned into the ground. But you pull it out, and you go ahead and give it an inspection. Roll me investigation or history.
Investigation's my better one here, so didn't roll well. 6.
Yeah, no, this it's a sword.
This is a sword.
You think it might have been used as a club? It's got a stone at the end of it.
Definitely what happened.
While you're standing there, investigating this sword, Thaddeus, roll me a perception check real quick.
7.
Okay. Well, then the first thing that you guys hear is the rattling of bone as the skeleton sits up in front of you. His arms reach over his head, like stretching, and you hear him go, Sarah, his head is going to turn towards you, and he's going to go, oh, thanks for that. Been stuck to that ground for decades.
You're welcome.
And that's where we're going to end the episode today.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if it was his, and then hand the sword back.
But
Dun, dun, dun.
that's where we're going to end our episode today.
I want more.
More.
But I'll stay tuned for next week.
Yeah, that's going to be all for now. But I'm sure when we return next episode, the time breakers are going to continue to impress us.
Time breakers, time breakers.
You can come join the Discord. The link is in the description. You can talk to the people. They almost always respond because, we're a bunch of nerds in a Discord. You can say hello and tell them how you feel about things and laugh at them for their failures and cheer with them of their successes. Like, come say hi.
Hell yeah.
Come say hi.
Oh, wow. All right. Chill.
You can
We
leave
have
a rating,
cookies.
leave a review and tell us how you really feel. Thanks for listening.